Hey, what's going on? So, yesterday I went into what we eat before we work out. Let's talk about the other big workout window meal, and that is going to be your post workout window. This is the other one we get people question all the time. What do I eat after I work out? So, at the end of this video, I want you to have a good sense of the two post-workout meals and the number one the priorities that come in there, and how you can tailor that nutrition so that you get the most out of your workouts, you recover the fastest, you get the best results, and you're able to train again more quickly because you're more recovered. So post-workout, okay, what do we eat after we work out? The big thing with this is, just like I talked in the pre-workout window, the big thing is this, and remember that all these meals work holistically. You don't just like have a meal, it digests, move on to the next thing. People kind of have this sense of, I eat food and then those nutrients are immediately available, like a video game where you hit the power thing and then boop, your body like blows up. That's not how it works. Your body needs to digest, and that takes time. And with whole foods, that could be anywhere from 2, 3, 4 hours up to 7, 8, 9, 10 hours for like a big like steak dinner or something like that, which is not necessarily what I'm recommending here. But just know that all that stuff, that gastric emptying, we call it, all that digestion stuff, that all takes time and is actually variable depending on the person to some degree. So there's a lot of variables at play there. Keep this in mind. But when it comes to post-workout, the number one thing you can do, take care of your pre-workout. So that's the last video. But if that's on point, your post-workout becomes way less important, not unimportant, but way less important, because those nutrients from your pre-workout are already starting to kind of filter into the bloodstream and get to where they need to go, so your body, when it needs it, can already grab it because it's already coming from your pre-workout. The post-workout just keeps that trend going along, because the idea is that when you're working out, you're expending energy, you're breaking down muscle mass, you are using up carbohydrates. So the body has to replenish that. The body has to recover the muscle mass, has to build new muscle mass, and it has to replenish those carbohydrate stores so that you have that energy reserve, right? That's the point of the post-workout meal. What do we do? Again, we look at what you just did, and we look at what you're going to do, because it's going to have some variables here that play into it. So what kind of workout did you let's assume you had a good pre-workout meal, you did the right thing. If you don't know that stuff, then go look at the last video. So what kind of workout did you just have? Oh, you had a heavy weightlifting workout. You broke down a bunch of muscle mass, and you really need to recover from that because tomorrow we're going to do it again. Okay. Well, that means that right now you burnt up a lot of sugar in that activity. You burnt up a lot of carbohydrate, and you caused a lot of muscular damage. So your body needs to repair the damage and to replenish that carbohydrate. That means that you need protein and you need carbohydrate post-workout. But let's say you just did a long run, like a hard long run. Okay, well, or a long cycle, long cycling trip. So now you probably didn't break down nearly as much muscle mass, some, but not nearly as much. But you did burn up a lot of carbohydrates. So you're running on low, and if tomorrow you're gonna try to do it again, you need that carbohydrate energy. So that means post-workout, you don't need nearly as much protein. You need some. You don't need nearly as much because you need to really, really emphasize the carbohydrates. Let's say you just took like a long walk, long hike, and tomorrow you're not going to do it again. You're just sitting at the desk all day, and maybe Wednesday, Thursday, if today was Monday, I guess, but 2 or 3 days from now, you might do another workout. Okay, well, quite frankly, your demands aren't very high. You burnt up some energy for sure. You burnt up some carbohydrate, but you didn't really wreck anything. You didn't really drain yourself totally dry, bonk yourself out or anything like that. So your post-workout demand is really pretty low. Yes, you should eat, and it should be carbohydrates, it should be fat, but it's going to be carbohydrates and protein, but it's going to be way less than what it would be if you did one of the harder exercise things. So that's, first of all, that starts to give you an idea of how much you should eat. What it should consist of. Meal number one post-workout. If you're going to be kind of getting ready for another workout, and this really applies if you're going to work out the next day, or even more so if you're a two-a-day person, like some of the CrossFit athletes, or if you're at an event like a tournament or something like that. This is where it really needs to be as fast as possible, digestion. So this is where the liquids come into play. This is where the Gatorades, this is where the coconut waters, this is where the protein shakes, the chocolate milk, the stuff like that, stuff that's very quickly digesting because it's liquid, is already basically like halfway there. That's the stuff that is really important if you're going to work out again frequently or very quickly, because you don't have a lot of time for that digestion process. If you are like an average gym goer and you're really going to work out 3 days a week hard, then, so it's going to be 2 days. You don't need to worry as much about the post-workout nutrition liquid stuff. You don't need to focus on that. There's some research that shows in the short term that liquid is faster, so it gets the body in an anabolic state faster, which means you get into a growth state faster. So there is some research on that. But then for the next couple hours, but then once you normalize it out over like a 24-hour period, it all tends to even out. So it's less important than the supplement companies would like you to think. It really, like I said, it's only when speed is actually of the essence. So post-workout though, right away, you want your fast digesting carbohydrates, liquid, or this could be your white rice, this could be your green peas, this could be your white potatoes, not fries. This could be your, stuff like that. This would be your fast digesting carbohydrates, sweet potatoes, that type of stuff, fruit, and also a little bit of protein. This would be your fast digesting lean protein, because we want to limit fats here because fats slow down digestion. So this could be your poultry, this could be your dairy, lean dairy, this could be, your lean beef, this could be your fish, that type of stuff. Stuff that digests quickly, plant-based proteins, most of them tend to be pretty fast. So this could be the stuff that you would have post-workout, right? Next, and this is the more important one for most people, an hour or two later, so you had that initial little blast, 15, 20 grams of protein, you want kind of a 1 to 2 ratio of protein to carbohydrates. So then maybe double that up carbohydrates, 30, 40 grams of carbohydrates. This is where, so that's your initial blast. Your next step would be 1 or 2 hours later, ideally if you can, you'd have a solid meal, because now your body's really hitting that repair stage, and you want to give it as much food as you can, so your body's still sensitive to insulin, still sensitive to putting things in the right place. We call that nutrient partitioning. That's really still on point. So make use of a good solid meal here. This could be your fat, this could be your protein, this could be your vegetables, all that stuff in a solid form. You just want to have a little more carbs here than you would have if it was an everyday meal. So this could be your meat, your potatoes, and your vegetables, right? Good solid meal, chicken, rice, veggies with a little bit of fat. There's your meal, that type of stuff. So there's your 2 big post-workout meals you want to focus on. The number 1 driver is going to be carbohydrates up and down, and that's going to be the one to decide if you're going to have carbs, you want to have carbs then. And you use your level of intensity in your workout to determine how much carbs you have, as well as your frequency or your proximity to your next workout to determine the liquid form. What are some good examples? So that fast workout, some turkey and some fruit, great fit. Yogurt and fruit, cottage cheese, great fit. Protein shake with some coconut water, some Gatorade, great fit. The next meal out, chicken, rice, veggie medley, a little bit of sauce if you like it, great fit. Lean ground beef, rice or potatoes, some vegetables, also a great fit. All that stuff, simple, basic food is going to be what fuels you up, gets you ready for your next workout. The number 1 priority is think about what you're replenishing and think about what you're going to have to use next. That's going to be your big thing for your post-workout meals. It doesn't need to necessarily be supplements. It doesn't need to necessarily be 100% on point if you've got your pre-workout stuff all nailed down. So, want some basic cheat sheets on that, or a basic cheat sheet where I kind of break down what you're looking for and give you some examples? Drop your comment below. I'll send you the one that I send to the Relentless people. Got you covered.